What's good? What's good? What's good? Hold up, hold up. You feeling? Womp, womp, womp. All right, what's going on here? Copy link. Uh, yeah. Yeah. All right, cool, cool. Right, where we at? Oh no, is that old? I think that was old. I think that was an old text. Okay, okay. Womp. Yeah, I feel like we're good. We're good. We're in there like swimwear. Damn, I need a bev. Damn, we finna do this off today. Oh, that did sound kind of crazy. All right, let's see. Hey, if the stream holds up, the stream holds. You're. I appreciate you for pulling up. Hey, let me know how it looks. If it's laggy, just check. You don't gotta watch the whole show, but just check in and let me know how it looks. But yeah, let's get straight into it, man. You are now watching Juke Boy Sports Show. I am your host here with another solo dolo episode. If you want to come pull, have conversation, hop with your boy, or hit me up on my socials. I'm always down to with. But we got our usual. If you're looking for a clean, no crash, jitterless energy drink, get on your iPhones, iPads, computers, Samsung, Androids, whatever you want to call them. Go on Dubby.com, Dubby. Codes Juke, Juk. Eh, hopefully it cleans up over time. If not, I'll probably just end up do a uh, go back to my other the other way I was doing it and see if I can just improve that over time. But hey, thank you for the feedback. I appreciate you. Um, but we are little laggy, little laggy. I do apologize. But Daniel Jones tears his, and I feel for the boy. You do everything to you do all this training in order to get to a certain point, and and then you tear your Achilles. Okay, okay. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you. But so Daniel Jones Achilles and for the Colts playoff chances, I believe that they are so far. If they aren't already clinched, let's see. Colts record. Let's see standings. Colts are 8-5. Actually, they're on a 3-game losing streak prior to this happening. Um, let's see standings. Because it just depends, man. Can Riley Leonard, who's going to come in and be the backup, can he come in and keep the boat and ship afloat? Yeah, they're 8-5 on a 3-game losing streak. They were the number one team in the AFC at one point, and then so we got 4 games left. Games against Jaguars, Texans, 49ers, Seahawks. 2 division games with teams that are either even with you or 1 game ahead. Not you go win the games, you win out, or at least you win your division games. You're putting yourself in giving yourself an opportunity and putting yourself in play to make uh this make the playoffs. But with no Jones and the uncertainty with Riley Leonard, he could come in and ball But him being a rookie, I don't know if he's ready for that. It's a big moment. These are big games. You're playing Seahawks, great 49ers, good defense. Jaguars playing improved football, and the Texans. You have four teams with a record between them of so Seahawks are in 3, 49ers are 9-4, and then Jaguars 9-4, Texans 8-5. So you finna go through a slight gauntlet, and you're gonna have to out there with rookie. Now he does have weapons to throw to. You got Jonathan Taylor to hand the ball off to as well. So there's pieces there for him to not have to do a whole lot, be Superman. I think that he can come in, play complimentary football. He'll still get an opportunity to get in the playoffs when you got the likes of the Bills, Chiefs, possibly the way that the Broncos are playing currently, the Patriots. I keep talking about the Bills, but really the Patriots are the team in that division at 11-2. So Steelers playing improved football, and then the people in anybody has a real chance. There really is no like team that's so far from the Patriots from a record standpoint at 11-2, no slouch, but can they get it in the moment when they read it? And so those are the things where, and I'm gonna get into it a little bit later, who I really have um, as the sleeper team. And so Kenyon Martin made his rounds again on social media, this time arguing with Gilbert Arenas on the Gil's Arena podcast show. Not sure what you call it. But they're going back and forth, him and Gil, and they're talking about playing to giving effort on both the offensive end and the defensive end. He feels like some superstars a little too offense heavy and give little to no effort on this. And that's why the way that people view the game is why the game is viewed that way. And for me, I think, all right, so whose side am I on? I can see and understand both sides because to some degree, everybody has their job. There are people that are there to put asses in seats, butts in seats, buckets in rim, play defense, crash the boards, block shots, be physical. There's just people, everybody has jobs. When you have your stars being able to do multiple pieces of those jobs, that's where I feel like that's where you get your superstars or your people who should demand a certain dollar amount if get all the accolades. Like Luka, from an offensive standpoint, I think he's an offensive player. But to start comparing him to greats when he plays no defense, where no other era wasn't acceptable to just be a bucket getter and not play defense. Now all of a sudden we supposed to forget that LeBron, as he got older, um, Luka at one point. We can even go Steph at another point where Steph used to get cooked on defensive end. He got stronger, put the time in, always used to get cooked on the defensive end. But Luka is in shape and still not playing no defense. And that's where to break away from Gil and his point. I think that Luka has to, in order for me to start putting him up there with Larry, LeBron, Kevin Durant, or Pippen, Kawhi Leonard. How if you want to put him at the 3, the 2, the 1, whatever it is, at some point you gotta lock in and play defense. Trying to get the show out there, people, but you got to be able to lock in and play defense. Like if we were talking ball, it would be one conversation. But since we over here talking about basketball, you're on the court for offense and defense, so you have to play the game in a way where you do both. When you sitting there watching someone sit there and I forget what they call them. Man, whatever the people that fight bulls, like bullfighting, where you got that red blanket looking thing, and then you move it out the way. And you go, "Ole!" That's what Luka looked like. He got one. He gonna put effort. He gonna go with you one way. If you cross over or make any kind of second move, Ole! And it's like, bro, come on, bro. Like, just play a little bit of defense. Give me some effort. And now the game is suffering. I get it. At the end of the day, there's people that are defensive players and still get cooked on the defensive end. But I think the one thing that people will say is when it comes to defense itself, it's not about whether or not just fully locked down a person. There are people that are able to do that, but there's not an amount of lockdown corners or lockdown defenders when it comes to basketball. But the ability to make it difficult shooting or the person, like if let's just say I'm up against KD tonight, he takes about 15 shots, shoots about 60% from the field, and he gets his 25. If I go and I'm guarding him, all night for me is to maybe get him down to like 40%, 45 with 20 to 25 shots in order to get him to that point or that same average. Difficult, make him work a little harder, and that's where the effort part comes in. We're not asking people to go out there and lock down. If everybody on the court turn into a defensive player of the year candidate, no, we just want to see some effort at the end of the day. And that's where I start to break away. I'm on the second. I think that Gil at times focuses too much on offense, and it shows because of the type of player he was, and he kind of pretty much leaned to the type of player he was when we have these conversations or when he has these conversations. And a lot of his dialogue is in favor of the offense when it comes to things. And so I do think that I'm on the side of Kenyon. I can see where Gil is coming from, but if we had more Anthony Edwards type players, because immediately he went straight to Dillon Brooks, and it's like Dillon Brooks was brought up, but I still would rather have some Dillon Brooks on my team and then put him next to someone who could, like, he could thrive next to, rather than, like, not to say that I would pick him over Luka, but give me like a Shea, a Dillon Brooks. I would take that over a Luka. And let's say like Austin Reeves. So I'm just like, I think when we start to have these conversations, get focused on the offensive side of the ball and don't pay enough attention to the details of defense. Because any team that is good for a long period of time, the Nuggets, the Warriors, we about to see it with the Thunder. You go through the Bulls, the Magic, um, not the Magic, the Heat. When they had LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh, they was getting to it on defense. The Celtics, the Lakers, and we started going back into the '90s. Like there's so many. The Spurs defense, the offense is it looks good and it looks pretty, but the details on defense really where words are made. You got to be able to get some stops. If you're going out there shooting threes and they shooting twos, you can't hope that you can win that type of way. Not everybody can do that. Two teams do it in history. And so next up, Notre Dame and Coach Freeman and that team. Actually, I want to look something up because I want to know how did they come to this decision? Did the team vote on this? So pretty much, Notre Dame was in ninth on most people's rankings. Somehow they didn't make the top 10, and now they are out of the college football playoff. So, what are my thoughts on them just saying we're not going? if we're not going to be in the college football playoff, we're not playing in any bowl games. How do I feel about it? I think ultimately I don't quite blame them. Now, at first I was just like, that's sucker shit. Because I'm thinking about like the seniors. Like, let's just say I'm a senior. We played in a game that was supposed to be the game before we start college football play. We're thinking we're gonna get a couple games in a championship game. We got that type of aspirations. We played it. That game's over. This happens, and now that's my last game as a senior. I feel like, excuse me, I feel like that's unfair to the seniors, and that they don't get that opportunity to play in the like one last. They're well. Some of not everybody that's in college football is going to the league. So some of these dudes is really about to be working regular jobs, or their life is about to go in a whole other direction. So from that aspect, I think that that's unfair to them. Now, if they all sat down as a team and voted this, and this was what the outcome was, I will digress from what I said previous statement. I do believe that if this decision was made by the team as a whole or majority, then I believe there's nothing wrong with this. I'm on the side of the team if they decided it as a whole. But if adults were making those kids, some of them they're young adults. I'm 36, so they kids. I think that that's unfair without giving them an opportunity to really be able to make that decision. Now, on both sides, I do think that as an adult, it is a little. I'm leaving and I'm taking my ball with me type shit, but I don't blame them for it. All right, hold on. How did they make the decision? All right, let's see what Chat GPT says. Oh, as a team, we've decided to withdraw our name from consideration for a bowl game following. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I don't know if this is saying like as a team we made this decision, or if this is just like that as a team we're not going type of thing. But yeah, I don't blame them if this kid was a group decision. But if this was just some adults throwing a hissy fit and making a decision for them kids, then I'm pissed off. Next, what we got? We got the Heisman Finalists. Hope I get people's name right. So let's look it up so I can make sure I got first and last name. First. Because I'm over here like, oh, what's that lettering? Why is that not popping? That's kind of wild. All right, well, let's Google. All right. We got Fernando Mendoza. Diego Pavia, Julian Sand, Love. I think that was it. All right, so let's look up. I know Indiana and Fernando Mendoza. They are coming off of a victory. They won the Big Ten, which is something they haven't done in years. I think they have an 11-0 record. He is at about 3,000 yards through the air, 33 touchdowns through the 6 interceptions. And he's decent running the ball, about 3.5 yards a carry. Looking at about, if they do 11, nothing crazy. He probably gonna run for like 25 yards in the game. And then we go through Diego Pavia, which shout out to both of these two because Indiana football has not been anything to talk about. And Vanderbilt, where I think Vanderbilt just flipped somebody from like Ohio State or Alabama or something like that. Like they were about to go to chip schools and they flipped to go to Vanderbilt. Diego doing this thing this year. All right, let's see. Let's get these stats for this year. Looking at about 71 completion percentage, 3,200 yards, 20 tugs, 8 interceptions. From what I remember, he is a threat on the ground where I think running the ball. Let's look up this. Yeah, we're this year 800 yards, a little over 800 yards, 9 tugs. So we're looking at 36, where what's the name had 33. Fernando Mendoza, and then Jeremiah Love. In all honesty, man, I think strictly based off of it, I want to give credit to Julian Sand. I just feel like he has way too much help. That defense is phenomenal. He got 2 stud wide receivers. And Jeremy Smith, and I want to say Tate is the other. Those two, he got some studs, got some good running backs. Ohio has some weapons. Where I feel like Indiana with Mendoza and Pavia with Vanderbilt, them having these right now can't go unnoticed. So I just don't see them giving Love or Julian Sand an opportunity to win the Heisman. I feel like it's between those two. Jeremiah Love specifically, he played for Notre Dame, but they are not about to reward any Notre Dame players like that, especially not winning no Heisman. It's a fast break. Get to it before we get up out of here. The Chiefs don't quite look like the Chiefs of old, but don't count them out. If there's an opportunity for them to make the playoffs, if they make the playoffs, all it really is getting into the dance. Once you're at the dance, you can make some shake. And so if the Chiefs make the playoffs, that's a team to look out for. Because when you really, like I mentioned earlier, when you're looking at the standings, you got Patriots at 11-2, Bills at 9-4, Chiefs low on everybody, especially the Bills when it comes to the playoffs. Steelers, who are first in AFC. Jaguars, Texans, I just talked about the Colts. And then you got Broncos, Chargers in ahead of them. So if they can find a way to sneak one of the wild card spots and get themselves that division game can go either way with the Broncos. I didn't realize the Broncos were 11-2 when I was mentioning the Patriots earlier. But division game can go either way. Then when you start talking about, do you trust? I trust CJ Stroud a little bit more, but in the playoffs, the Chiefs beat the Texans, even though they just lost to them last week. Steelers can be had, and then like I mentioned with the Chiefs, Bills history, and then the Patriots. If the Chiefs can get in, it can really go either way. And I hate to be saying, but just watching football and saying what my eyes see, uh, this is my boy, my boy. How you doing? How you doing? Hope doing good. Hold up. Hide it. All right, back to it. Um, Chiefs are still dangerous at the end of the day. If they make the playoffs, you can never underestimate the heart of a champion. So at the end of the day, if they can get in, they have as good a chance as anybody. Especially with like at least until you get to the Super Bowl, that's where you can run into. Eagles don't really look good right now. The Rams look like the best team in the NFC. Packers look good. And don't look now, but here come the Cowboys type shit. And so I don't know. We're gonna see this. The end of this year is shaking up, looking pretty good. This part pisses me off. So the Colts, with Daniel Jones being out, they reach out to old ass Austin, or not Austin Rivers, but Phillip Rivers. Stress. This is stressful because like, why are you calling someone who's a granddad? Granddad. He's a pawpaw. That's that you pulling off the couch. And then y'all wouldn't call Colin. This shit is irritating. They've been doing this shit for years. They was like Matt Ryan played a little bit too damn long. Phillip Rivers played too damn long the first time. Old ass Brett Favre, old ass Joe Flacco, like Rob is old as hell too. Tom Brady worked out though. Oh, he was still they say he the GOAT. I still feel like Peyton's the GOAT. That's a conversation for another time. And then what we got left? I think. Oh yeah. So Shedeur named the starter. I don't think I put that as. Oh, actually, I actually got one more. But Shedeur named the starter. Um, for the rest of the season, and I think that set up. You go when you look at the Browns' remaining schedule. It's not like the most like player friendly, rookie friendly a schedule that you can have. You got Bears and in the next, you got the Bears next week, Bills, Steelers, Browns. So you have two important, well not important, two in division games. These two teams could possibly have some kind of playoff implications coming up, so they'll definitely want. You got the Bills who are trying to win their division, and you got the Bears who are also trying to win. All of these teams are playoff bound teams or right there on the brink, and so I think that it's gonna be tough for him to be able to get these wins, and so to be able to show what he has. If he can go out there, look competent, look confident, move the ball down the field, not make a lot of overs, and show some promise, this is your opportunity that you are that guy that you're trying to say you are. And so it could be a setup where look at the team plan. We're a rookie. We haven't really been giving you reps. Doesn't really look like we believe in you. And then now you play the Bears, Bills, Steelers to finish the season. Coming off a loss to the. It's not about the wins and losses. It's how he looks while doing it. That team and all they do not roster right now that can be able to compete at that level, given what we've had at quarterback this year. We finally got a little something at quarterback. Looked like something here, but it's a little too late. So I do think that that's something they got to look at going forward. But in these 4 games he has left in this season, this is his opportunity to show that he's the franchise. You went into it as a 5th rounder. We know what happened with that. Not finna get into it. You were 4th, 5th quarterback on the roster at one point. Pickett, Joe Flacco gets hurt. He goes. Deshaun's not there. Dylan gets his opportunity. Dylan looked good. Now it's your turn. Just keep working, getting better at your craft, showing that you're the guy. First in, last out mentality, and show that you're the leader. And then now you go out there and look like a competent quarterback that can move the ball down the field and make something shake. You got an opportunity and then get your offseason that you were hoping for. And then last but not least, why Mike is the GOAT. Y'all keep doing this shit, and I understand. I'm good, and I hate conversations because it seems like I don't like LeBron when I have these conversations. When we start ranking people against others, and I know people that don't like to do lists or rankings. Why can't we enjoy both? But when we do these rankings and have these conversations of who's the GOAT, you have to be able to uplift this person, which is going to inherently push someone down. Not even if you mention him by name. I just say like, oh, the best scorer is Michael Jordan. That immediately means that this person is not, this person is not, this person is not. But I think that too often we start to look at like things and mislabel them. Where LeBron, I don't believe LeBron because he has the most points is the greatest scorer. Because I think in my idea of the greatest scorers, how many different ways can you do something? Where like LeBron is 6'9", 250, moving like a point guard. I think for the time period in which he comes from, there are things that make it where he's unstoppable. He'll be unstoppable in different ways than he was in other eras. But I just think the bulldoze mentality that he had a lot of his career, he wouldn't have been able to get away with that once the league went so small. Where he played in a bigger league, maybe we would get a different bag from him. Where for me, I think that Bron lacks a bag, in my personal opinion. People sit there and try to say what they say, but Mike got the one dribble pull up, two dribble pull up, jab step pull up, post game, fast pick and roll, get to his spot, fade away, dunk on you. There really weren't many ways that Mike couldn't get to his spot, and the type of jumpers that he hit at efficient clip, and to be able to do what he did in less time. Where look at how many years it took LeBron to pass Mike. It was more than what Mike took to get to that point. And then he's supposed to better score. Like, I just don't believe how that can be true. Now, we can still give praise to LeBron for how long he's played and the amount of points, but I think that I think that's one thing about this generation that I don't like is they'll say something and then leave out context. Where 20 years from now, we're going to look and see, well, LeBron has the most points, so he must be good. But really, when you start to look at film, the eye test, numbers within a time point or standpoint, like look at how many shots did it take Mike to get to that? Games did it take Mike to get to where he did? If he was a 12-time scoring champ or a scoring champ, I forget which one it is, he was the greatest scorer of his generation. Then we look at this person, they won 2 scoring titles, if that, in a 20-year span. How are you the greatest scorer at that point? But I got to get up out of here. I appreciate y'all for watching. Mike's the GOAT. I don't care what nobody say. R.I.P. Kobe. And before I get up out of here, make sure y'all go ahead, like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. I am a few subscribers away from 100 subscribers on YouTube. I'm excited. Trying to get to 100 followers on Facebook, on Network page. Subscribe Juke Network on YouTube. Follow Juke Network, JU. Follow the sports show, Juke Sports Show at Juke H. at an underscore for X or Twitter, but you can find me on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch. Trying to get back into gaming, having some internet issues, as you can see if you watch the show. But thank you all for watching and sticking with me. I hope y'all have a good one. Stay black out there.